name is Lucia and my intro never recorded. So today I'm doing a get ready with me on this look. I will link my previous get ready with me down below if you're interested. That one was a Q&A. This is a little less chatty. I do chat, but just a little bit less. I hope you guys enjoy seeing how I got this look and just keep on watching. For my eyes, I'm going to be using the Meesha Cosmetics Witchcraft palette. I really wanted to do a look wearing this for you guys and showing you how I do it. This is what the palette looks like. I had all three of these sent to me by Meesha and I am reviewing them on my Shop My Stash. For primer, I'm going to be using the Milani eyeshadow primer in Nude. Usually when I film Get Ready With Me's, I have a set thing that I'm going to talk about, but I don't have that today. I thought I would just talk about how I've been feeling lately and what comes to mind. I wanted to do a summer reflection video and getting ready for school, but I don't go back to college for another month, which is weird because I just said goodbye to my one friend who goes back this weekend, and I'm saying goodbye to another friend who also goes back next week, early next week. So it's just weird that I have a month and some of my friends are basically already back in school. I don't know. It just feels strange. I feel like everyone is leaving me. To start, I'm going to be going into the shade Magic, and I'm going to be using my fingers. I'm putting this all over the lid. Okay, I just messed up. I put the wrong purple on my eyelids and then I had to take it off and put on primer again. So if they look a little bruised, that is why. But I'm going to go into the shade Pentagram. I have a look in mind. I'm trying to recreate something that I did a long time ago and I'm having trouble remembering it, but the plan is to do Pentagram all over the lid and then this Magic duochrome shade on top of it because it's really pretty but not on its own. And then I'm gonna brighten it up with Maiden and do Dark Magic in the inner corners. And I'm gonna do green on the lower lash line. So first I'm taking the shade Pentagram on my fingers and I'm putting it all over the lid. I want to blend that out. I have this Beauty Creations blending brush and it's dirty, but I'm taking this AOA brush cleaner thing that I absolutely love. This is $1. It was sent to me, but I would absolutely buy it for myself if it wasn't. This has really been a game changer because it's like the color switch, but it's not $20 and it just gets the color off your brush. So now this brush is clean and I'm just going to blend this out. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on blending this out this second. I just want to blend it out a tiny bit and then I'm going to go back in with another color for a transition shade. The shades in here are all too dark to be transition shades, so I'm going into the Meesha Fawn palette. This is another one of the palettes that I'm reviewing, and I'm going to take the shade Falling Leaves. It's just a little bit darker than my skin tone, but it is a really nice transition and it works with basically any look that you're doing. By the way, just because I know I will get this question, this video is absolutely not sponsored by Meesha. I just really wanted to show you guys these palettes because I've really been enjoying them, especially the Witchcraft palette. It's so unique and I haven't used every shade in the palette, but the shadows that I have used so far are really nice. It has that color story that I'm always talking about where you can see the inspiration on the cover. Actually, really all of these do, and I really appreciate that. So this is just blending this shade out and making it mesh better with my skin tone. I need to clean my brushes so badly. It's gotten to the point where I have about 4 or 5 brushes that I can use for each place on my face, like 4 or 5 blush brushes, 4 or 5 bronzer brushes, and they're all dirty. Just all of them. I just need to clean my brushes, and I do spot clean them sometimes, but it's just been a while since I've done a deep clean, and it's hard because I have so many now that they're all piling up and I just don't want to do any of them, but I need to because it's just a disaster. I'll blend more later, but I want to go back to the eyelid, so I'm going to take the shade Magic. This is a duochrome purple brown or purple green. It reminds me exactly of Glass Bull by ColourPop, so if you have that, you really don't need this shadow. It's basically the same thing, and I'm going to put this on top. I find that on its own, these kind of duochrome purpley blue shadows just look scaly on me and gross. On top of a purple, they look a lot better. Oh my god, I'm applying this with my finger and it just got all over my shirt. This shadow is very crumbly in particular, same as the Glass Bowl shadow. Next, I'm going to take the shade Maiden and I'm going to put that on the center of my lid. This is a Docolo 05 brush. I really like this Maiden shade. It's really pretty. I'm going to go back in with Pentagram and I'm going to put that on my outer corners. I'm not going to use this solely to deepen things up, but I do want a bit of this back into the look. I'm going to go into the shade Dark Magic, which is this really pretty purple, and I'm going to do the same thing I just did with Pentagram and put it on my outer corner, and then I will do a lot of blending it out and probably adding some more back in. This color would be really pretty also just on its own, maybe smoked out on the lash line, or if you wanted a smoky eye all over the crease. Something to keep in mind, these shadows are messy, you want to do your eyes first, and it's kind of getting all over my shirt, so I would do this before you put clothes on. If you wear a robe while you do your makeup, that's what I usually do, and that's how I would do this palette if I wasn't filming a YouTube video. This is that same clean blending brush that I'm just going back in with. I'm going to take this Doclo 06 brush and I'm going to go back into the shade Dark Magic, and I want to concentrate this more on the inner corners. I kind of blended it into everything, but I want to see more dark purple there. Not the inner corners, outer corners. That's so pretty on the outer corner. It really pulls the purple back into the look because I feel like the duochrome, not that it's not purple, but it just makes it a little less purple. Going back into that lighter Maiden shade and just putting a little bit more of that on the center. I wish you could do this look with one palette, but you really can't, but you absolutely don't need the Fawn palette. And any transition shade that works for you is really good. I'm going to go back into the shade Falling Leaves, and I'm just going to blend that out more. I like to go a bit on my brow bone with this because it is lighter. It's not light enough to be a brow bone shade, but I like to lighten up the blending that I did all the way up here because I don't want purple blended up all the way to my brow bone. I'm going to go into the shade Natural Being from the Fawn palette. This is a brow bone highlight. It's kind of a little too dark, but I am going to use it as a brow bone highlight and also just to clean up the blend a little bit more. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but that really does just add another dimension of highlighting to the brow bone that I really like. I tend to always blend color a little too much right here than I do here, and I don't know how to fix that. I just need to remember not to do that as much. Neither of these palettes have a brow bone highlight, which is honestly really annoying. The what appears to be white shadow in the Witchcraft palette is actually a purple duochrome that I have not used yet. I would like to, but I really wish it was just a white silver. That's one of my only problems with this palette, but I am going to go get a brow bone highlight. I'm going to go in with the shade Let Me Explain from ColourPop. This is in my Z palette. I have a video on everything in this. I will link it down below. This is my go-to brow bone inner corner highlight shade when I have a palette that doesn't have one, or I have a palette that has one but I don't like it that much. And then I'm going over it with a brush that I used for the matte shade just to blend it in. I'm ready to not have purple all over my face. These are the Equate Makeup Removing Cleansing Towelettes. I've never used these before, and this is a gigantic bag, so I hope I like them. I had a smaller bag of these that I bought for Israel, and I never opened it, and I don't know where it is. The e.l.f. ones are my favorite ones to wipe away fallout, but this seems to be doing a good job. I am not sure. They were very inexpensive at Walmart, so at the very least I can use them for swatches if they don't do well, but this seems to be doing fine. For moisturizer, I'm going with the Susan Simonelli moisturizer. This was sent to me from Octoly. It's good. I don't notice a big difference in my skin, and it's really expensive, but I kind of want to save this for the winter when my skin is super dry and dying, because this is a really expensive product and I feel like in the winter it would work better. You have to use this spatula, but mine broke, which is super annoying because of how expensive this is. I honestly much rather prefer a squeezy tube than something that you have to use with a spatula, but I know that this is the more luxurious packaging to a squeezy tube. It's glass and, you know, it's got the whole shebang, but I would still prefer a less fancy squeezy tube. It's just easier. For primer, I'm going in with my favorite. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. Oh my gosh, Am I down to here already? Can you guys see that line? So I know I haven't really talked at all yet in this video, and I do want to talk about recently how I've been feeling, because I know that some of my videos have talked about how I was going through something, and I still am, but I'm also just feeling this big burst of inspiration. And it's not necessarily towards my YouTube channel. I am inspired by my channel and by the videos that I'm filming, but I mean more in general. I feel this inspiration for a part of myself that I thought I lost. I'm feeling very excited about things that I thought I would never be excited about again. We'll pause on that for a sec because I'm gonna go in with foundation, and I have my Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 150, but it's too light, so I have my NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in olive. This is how I have been getting a custom shade, and I really do like this. Sometimes it looks way too dark when I first apply it, but blends it out with other makeup, it is good. So I'm gonna shake this up and take one pump of this on the back of my hand, and about the same amount of the other thing as one pump, and then we'll mix it and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna blend that with the Real Technique sponge, and I hate to talk while I blend because I feel like I'm destroying my face, so I will continue after I'm done blending this. For concealer, I have Tarte Shape Tape in Light. This is in my Project Pan. The stopper is out. I just love this concealer. I have another concealer that's coming to me from Octoly, and I hope that I like it. I'm still planning to repurchase this. So what I was saying is there's a lot of things that I used to like when I was a lot younger, and there's a certain person I thought I would become, and it was really, really, really hard for me as a young high school student, like, you know, the beginning, first 2 years of high school, to accept that I'm not the person I thought I would be, and I don't love all the things that I thought I would love growing up. And it's not that I wanted to give up on dreams, it's just that certain things weren't for me. I didn't want them anymore. Like, for example, music. I was really, really big into music. When I was younger, I thought that I was going to grow up and be a singer-songwriter. There was no other option. That was what I wanted. I wanted to be Taylor Swift before she went all pop. Back when she was, you know, true. I just wanted to be a musician. To set my under eyes, I'm going in with the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder and the Real Techniques Contour Brush. I haven't felt an inspiration for music in a long time. I used to write a song every single week. Every single week I was writing a song, and I was always spending all my time practicing guitar, and I don't know, I just kind of grew out of that, and I never thought that music would be something that I went back to and got a lot of inspiration from as a musician. I still, you know, play guitar and sing and do gigs, but if you saw my video on why retail therapy will not make you happy, I'll link that down below. I mentioned that I got a ukulele, and I have been playing that every single day. I've actually been playing it so much that my tendonitis in my wrist acted up. I'm not wearing my brace right now, but I actually have been wearing that because it's been hurting a lot. Next, I'm going in all over my face with the Maybelline Fit Me powder in 110 Porcelain and this AOA Studio brush in F13. But I've just been feeling this inspiration again that I haven't felt in so long. Another example would be the beach. When I was little and I was on the beach, it was almost ridiculous how much I was bursting at the seams with creativity. I almost didn't know what to do with myself because of how much creativity I had and how inspired I always was, and I just had so many ideas of what I wanted to do, and I haven't felt that in a long time, not just towards the beach, but kind of just in my life, and I feel that once again. And I honestly, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Miley Cyrus's new music, her new album. If you're not, you should absolutely check it out. It's such a good album, but she has that song Younger Now, and I think the album might be called Younger Now. The line is, I feel so much younger now. I've been listening to that album, I think, for about a year now, and I remember thinking, if I could feel like that, if I could understand what she's saying, and I do, I feel like that now. I honestly do feel younger now. I'm going to be taking the Bahama Mama bronzer and this Docolo 12 brush to contour/bronze. I honestly do understand what she's saying because I do feel younger in a sense that I feel like I've gained back so many things that it's not that I lost them, but they went away. And it's not that I was so terrible without them, because I've been doing fine. I just have gained things back that I had when I was younger, and I honestly do feel the creativity from when I was little. And it's so amazing and refreshing, and I almost don't know how to explain it, and you might not understand what I am saying, but I feel really lucky that I get to feel this way again, because it's not that I never thought I would feel this way again. I thought that it was just that I grew up, and that's not how I feel anymore. I just needed to be refreshed of that creativity. I'm going to blend that out with the Docolo 01 brush. This is a brush that I always use to blend out my bronzer and contour. I really like these Docolo brushes. That's how I've been feeling lately, aside from everything that I'm going through, which that part hasn't been great, but the creativity part has been, and it's honestly very surprising, and I'm really, really excited to bring that with me in this new semester of school. A lot of things are going to be different in this new semester, and I have never been someone who has been super psyched about change, at least when I was younger. I don't really want to say that about myself now, because I don't think it's true anymore, but when I was younger, I hated change. I couldn't do change. I just couldn't. And now I'm excited for change, and I'm excited to have this new semester of change. I'm going to go into the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer and the AOA F20 brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit more bronzingness to that deeper shade. This is a lighter shade, so I think it lights up the bronzer a little bit. This shade will be even better for me when I'm pale. Right now, it doesn't show up that much, but when I am pale, I think this will be such a good shade for me. Oh, I just got a little bit in my mouth, but it tastes like chocolate, which is kind of alarming when you're doing your makeup. Oh my god, I'm getting a lot in my mouth. There's a lot of powder on this brush. I'm gonna go back in with that powder brush. There's nothing on it, just the excess, but I'm just gonna do it under my bronzer just to kind of clean it up a little bit. For blush, I'm going to be using Benefit Rockateur and the Docolo 11 brush. I wonder when I'll hit pan in this. You can see the waffle pattern. I'd be so excited to hit pan in a full-size blush. I don't think I've ever hit pan in a full-size blush, only on minis. People say it's not that hard to hit pan on this. I might do a project pan in the fall using this blush, because I love this blush and I would love to see pan on it, but also I only own like 2 blushes, so is there a point to that? I don't know. Before we do highlighter, let's just comb through these eyebrows. It's bothering me, and it must be bothering you. Inspiration, it's weird because I feel like when people talk about it, you think that they're always inspired every second, and it's really not like that, at least for me, especially within my whole life. It comes and goes, sometimes all at once. Like right now, I'm feeling such a surge of inspiration, but right before that, I wasn't really feeling any inspiration, and that's basically how my life goes. I'll feel it, and then I won't, and then I will, and it's okay. I feel like sometimes it's hard to accept that that's how it is, but that's just life, you know? You can't always be inspired all the time, but when you are, you kind of have to run with that. I'll be using the Essence Pure Nude highlighter and the AOA F19 brush. This is a really nice brush for highlighting. What I was saying about the inspiration is, I was saying to my friend Lexi, I wish that I could just put it in a jar and save it for later. Oh my god, that was way more than I wanted. Anyway, I was saying to my friend Lexi that I wish I could just bottle up all this inspiration and put it in a jar, but I kind of feel like in a way that's what I'm doing. By getting the ukulele and by playing music and by putting the inspiration that I'm feeling into actual things, I kind of feel like that's me putting it out into the world, and you know, maybe when I'm not feeling so inspired, some of that will come back to me and I'll remember how it felt when I did feel so inspired. Alright, I'm going to do under my eyes. First I'm going to go back into the Fawn palette and use that same transition shade just first under my eyes, kind of to lay down something so that when I do the green, it doesn't look so stark. Just doing that with a Real Techniques shading brush. I'm cleaning off, this is a Morphe brush. It doesn't specify more than that what it is. I got it in a vegan brush set like 4 years ago or something like that. So I'm going to go in with the shade Crescent, and I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. I'm going to wing out the green from the lower lash line so it meets up with the purple. When I do my eyeshadow, I kind of create this triangular shape, and so now the green is also there, and I will blend that out a little bit later, but not too much because I do like that effect. I'm taking that Real Techniques brush and I'm just blending out the edges of this so it's not so harsh. I didn't add anything else to this brush, by the way. Going back into that shade, I'm doing a little bit more. With the shadows in this palette, you just have to work slow because if you do too much green somewhere and then there's only so much blending you can do before it's just, you're done. For the inner corners, I'm taking that same ColourPop shadow from before and this Coastal Scents brush, and I'm going to do it on the inner corner and a little bit on the inner part of the lower lash line. For mascara, first I'm going with my favorite. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. My camera overheated again because it loves to do that, but I just put on the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes and I'm gonna go over that a tiny bit with the Yves Saint Laurent Beauty The Shock Mascara. This was sent to me from Octoly and I don't like it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, I already reviewed this, but oh my god, there is so much product on this wand. I'm just trying to get use out of this, and the sad part is I use this when I don't wear eyeshadow, and I actually really like it once I scrape off this ridiculous amount of excess product. So I'm just gonna go over the very tip of this and try to make it a little bit longer. That's kind of how I like to use if I'm wearing two mascaras. I'll just go over this, just give it a little extra length. Last is lips. I'm gonna try MAC Whirl. It might be too dark for this look. I can't remember what I wore in terms of lips the first time I did this look, but we'll see. I don't know. I wish I had Max Twig still because that has purple in it. This is just so, I don't know if it goes with the eyes. I think I'm gonna try something else. Maybe this. This is the AOA Matte Wonder Liquid Lipstick in Hype. My camera overheated once again, but I put on the liquid lipstick and I put MAC Whirl over top of it. I think that looks really, really nice. I think that is a really nice combination, and I think it goes with the look. It was a little too light and pink on its own. I'm not sure if it'll look better or worse, this liquid lipstick, when I'm not tan, but yeah, I really like the look. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see the eyes. So this is what the eyes look like. You can see the duochrome and the purple, and it goes really well with the green. That is the closest I can zoom in, but there are the eyes. And that is the whole look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry this was a little less chatty than usual. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.